Hey, happy Black Maternal Health Week. As I almost didn't even get to make a video this week, being that it's Friday, but it is a good Friday. Amen, saints. Amen. Good Friday. Trying to make sure I can hear me. Let me turn it like this. Turn it like this so you can hear me. I do have to have my handy dandy laptop out so I can make sure I hit everything that I wanted to hit. I know we typically hear during Black Maternal Health Week a lot about advocating for yourself. You hear a lot about doulas, midwives, and things like that. And not to say that those things aren't important, because they really are important, like tremendously important. But I wanted to talk about some of the things that typically are overlooked. Well, I wanted to give some overlooked tips for this week, or this day, I shall say. And I wanted to be very real and things that are still like essential for us. So the first one is, hey girl, you break up with the superwoman syndrome. Like, let it go. Seriously, let it go. For generations, we've been told that strength means enduring everything. And mama, let me tell you, you do not. You do not have to do it alone. You do not have to take the brunt of every burden. If you don't go get help, open your mouth, be vocal, and go get help from that partner, from your grandparents, from your parents, from your siblings, from your friends. It's a reason why they say you need a village, because you truly do need a village to get through this here thing called motherhood. And that's one that's very important for black women in general. And I don't want to just say that it's for Black women, because it really is for women in general. I feel that women alone feel like they have to have this superhuman strength. But for us Black women, we literally are seen as superhuman, and this is where the advocacy comes in, when they feel like you can endure the pain. Your pain tolerance is very high. And we tend to take that on. That is like generational trauma, that we feel like, I got to do it all. Baby, I'm here to, nope. I won't. What's the saying? And ain't. Seriously, I won't. And you don't either. We've been taught for generations that strength means to endure everything, the pain, the stress, the disrespect that comes with it. And I'm here to tell you today, let it go. You don't constantly have to be in survival mode. It truly does impact your health. It does. You don't got to do it. And I know before people begin to say, well, that they are a single mom or they have no help, I get that wholeheartedly. And even in that, I'm going to say, you don't have to be in survival mode. And hear me out. Give yourself permission to not be okay. I want you to start the therapy. I want you to get to know your creator, get to know God as Abba. Get to know God as Abba, who is the Father. Get to know him as your father. Just like any daughter would do with her dad here on earth. You would ball up. You would cry out to your dad. You would ask your dad for help. You would ask your dad for comfort. You would seek your dad. Hold on, baby. You would seek your dad. You can do that with your creator, Abba. And if you didn't know that that was the name, that is the name for Father. Get to know God as Abba, your Father. I need you to remember that God doesn't call us to carry burdens alone. He doesn't call us to carry burdens alone. And according to Matthew 11:28, he promised us rest and peace. Baby, lay down and get your rest. And I'm not talking about, y'all know, because they came out a little different. I mean, get your peace. Get the type of peace that surpasses all understanding. Get your rest in him. Okay, get your rest in him. The next tip that I want to give: vet your provider's biases and their biases in response, not just their credentials. And so with that, just know that it's not about finding the perfect doctor. It's about finding the doctor who would listen to you when you're in distress, and who will take your instincts and your pain that you're telling them that you're having seriously. And so you don't want to settle for anyone who won't do that, okay? And a tip for that is create my husband and I created, which was called a Code Black Plan. And I know it sounds very funny, but that's truly is. And it's just basically a plan that you create when you know who to call, you know what you'll do if you're not being heard, you know who would advocate for you, you know what other hospital to go to, you know what test that you should insist on, and you know where to go to for the best care. So preparation is truly key. And also remembering that according to Psalms 34:17, God says that the righteous cry out and they are heard. They cry out and the Lord hears them, and then he delivers them from their troubles. And so just know that even if the physician is not listening to you, you have the greatest physician of all time, which is Jehovah Rapha, the healer, the great physician. And just know that God will bring in people for you to advocate on your behalf, and he will even bring in other people, other staff to come in and do what needs to be done. When his children cry out, God does not play. And I can attest for myself, maybe when I cry out loud, God doesn't play about me. I definitely had an experience during my birth. I developed postpartum eclampsia, which caused me to remain in the hospital for about 15 days. And during my stay there, my physician wasn't there until like towards the end, but the attending physician who was there prescribed me some type of blood medication, and I immediately did not like how I felt when I was on the medicine. I just didn't like it. And I couldn't explain it because I pretty much have always been healthy, so this was my first time dealing with anything according to high blood pressure or health related in that aspect. I did know that every birth is different, so things happen. You just don't know what may happen. I'm saying that because another physician, she just randomly came in and asked me, "Hey, how are you?" And I said, if I can be honest, I'm not doing the best. I don't feel good. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't know if it's the medication. I don't know what it is." And she said, "Do you mind if I look through your chart?" And I said, "Sure." I thought this was very weird because this is my first time seeing her. And she looked through my chart and she was just like, mm. And I heard her say, like, "I don't know why they would prescribe you this medication. It's not the medication to give to Black patients who are dealing with high blood pressure, because the first thing that goes is their liver." And she said, "Do you mind if I go call your physician and speak with your physician and see if I can change the medication?" "Absolutely." Because I don't like it. So absolutely change it. And she advocated for me. And she caught something that I didn't even know to look for, that my husband didn't know to look for. And I'm saying that because I cried out loud and God delivered me from my troubles. And he delivered me from troubles that could have been caused later on down the line from something that I had no clue about. So again, Cold Black Plan is very important to know who to call, what tests to insist on, who can advocate for you, and where to get the best possible care that you can get. And I just wanted to end on a positive note for us in our future. We are more than our struggles. Black women have always been resilient. We have always been innovative, and we have always been powerful, especially when it comes to motherhood. And I like to say that there are people who came before us, truly fought for us to survive. They fought for us to survive, and they pioneered the way for us to be able to survive. Now we are fighting for our futures of our health and the safety of our babies. God is with us every step of the way, providing and guiding us. His word reminds us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that he has plans to prosper us, plans to give us hope, and, let me hear it, a future. We are not statistics. We are natural born healers, and we are made in God's image. Our bodies are sacred and our lives matter, not just today, this week, but every day. We matter. Let's continue to uplift one another and fight systematic changes and create spaces where we all can thrive. Remember, we are unstoppable because we are daughters of the Most High. Feel free to share this with others and let this be a reminder that God is our source of strength in every season, in every aspect of our life, including motherhood. We are walking in his favor and his grace. Okay? Enjoy. Love you guys.